I decided to make a stir fry. It's not really exciting looking, but it tastes good. And some corn,
It smells
and
pretty
like I just cooked the corn on top of the wok, like on the wok of food, and it worked out. And with some rice, and I made these things, but I just put them in the steamer rack on top of the rice, so they didn't turn out as well. We're going to talk about
like
Cracker Series 3.
kind of tart or something. Right?
Well, they're a protein
Is it
sort
a
of
wonton?
thing. Yeah, basically,
Cup or
but
whatever?
yeah,
This is wraps, I guess.
I don't know.
Wonton
So,
wraps.
I get away for a moment. I was going to put some carrots on my stuff, but I got
He was
too...
eating his buddy.
Was he?
It's amazing how quickly he discovered him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, wasps, I don't think they're too sentimental, are they? Yeah, this time of year is bad for smart flies and mean wasps.
They don't get mean with us. If one stings us, we're closing down the program.
Yeah. So, I'm letting myself have a little bit of egg in these wrappers to try today. And a little bit of extra virgin organic coconut oil from the stir fry. Yum. Tastes delicious. But, anyway, Cracker. I actually like watching Cracker. I like watching a lot of mystery shows, and there's a lot of, it seems like in Great Britain, there's a lot of police.
Which was crazy.
There's so many.
Great Britain might be one of the most Pacific countries in the world when it comes down to murder. Right? So they'll have murder mysteries in villages where, the villages will be depopulated.
Population 100, and they're all old people.
Yeah,
somehow
and so you have
murders.
if it runs.
No, not in Cracker though.
If it runs 5 years, you end up with everyone who would have to be murdered, right? But are they usually 22 shows per year?
Well, some of them don't do that. Some of them now have it so that there's one murder that they're solving for the
It makes more sense. Like a murder that's worth the solving. A real mystery is going to take cops a little time to figure out. It's not like 48 hours show my dad likes watching.
Well, some of them, it's pretty obvious.
Well, most murders are that way, but they're not worth solving. The cops are pretty good at figuring out obvious murders. What they do is they look for people who are relatives and who are friends, family, and people who work with people. And usually it's some idiot who like motivated by money or whatever. It's pretty easy to figure out.
What was I going to say about? I don't know if there's really anything to say about Cracker. Either you like watching this sort of thing, the police mystery, British, whatever, or you don't.
I think he's supposed to be a police psychologist or something like that.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's kind of like the police. Like I've worked with the police. It wasn't my choice. I was parachuted in there by the city of Lethbridge. Worked 2 years. I was working undercover. I shaved my hair off. I had it down to my shoulders. And believe me, I didn't express my left-wing beliefs.
Such mean wasps.
But this guy's more like a cop. He's not really a very pleasant fellow. And there are a lot of cops who eat too many. It's not donuts here in Lethbridge. It used to be Boston Pizza, where they go. They eat lots of pizza. Donuts. And they'd be there in all-night donut shops.
Well, they're paid very well here. It's
they
not
should
like
be.
the United States.
I don't know what it's like in the United States.
They're
Teachers
not
are
paid
poorly
well.
paid.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is you pay cops well, so they got no excuse for corruption. for being, bought off by mafia gang biker types and stuff like that.
It would be interesting to look at the Myers-Briggs personality types for teachers. Like, I think you'd still get the...
For teachers versus cops?
Well, in Canada versus the United States. Because here in Canada, there's a lot of yellows and reds who are in the public school system.
Yeah. Might be a lot of greens is what you're figuring down there?
There might be more greens and blues.
Possible.
Because, I mean, the teachers then wouldn't be motivated by income or power in the United States because they have neither.
Yeah. There'd be some teachers who are like my mom. She was a green. Had some blue tendencies.
And your sister, she's
Ruth?
smart as can be, yeah.
Well, she's got a lot of blue. When her kids met me, they said, "He's just like you." My sister. I suspect she's a good teacher. Making me surprised.
Well, she's more introverted than you.
She is.
Yeah. I'm honestly a little worried I'm going to eat a wasp.
I gotta watch it.
Tell about yesterday. You saw the rattlesnake.
So we're going down to Cottonwood Park. I always want to call it Cottonmouth Park because that's my mnemonic for remembering. Because Cottonwoods, Cottonmouths. I want to call it Cottonmouth Park. Cottonmouths, I believe, are a poisonous snake. Maybe down in the United States. And we went down the hill. Saw this guy. Went down a little bit before us, and then he just went to the bottom of the hill, basically, and came back.
I don't know why.
I didn't ask him.
Yeah.
But we just asked him if he saw any rattlesnake. He'd seen one this year. Right? He'd seen one. They had a hibernaculum. I said, oh, the aculum is kind of like means a place for someone. Hiber would be related to hiber. Would be a related word for winter, right?
Let's see what
And we
this
said, not tabernacle, hibernaculum. No, he didn't hear me. So we got talking about he'd been raised a Catholic. Right? I said, well, I've been raised Protestant.
He seemed quite a bit older than you.
He could have been about the same age. But I got the impression he could have been 10 years older than me. He's a smart guy. He gets out and walks and keeps the weight off. Doesn't overdo it, though. Just does the hill, basically.
Well, that's
kind of
some
like
hill.
overdoing.
Yeah.
If you were doing a mountain like that and did a little bit more of that mountain stuff, it would be considered, I think, at least moderate, maybe borderline. You know, they have different books will have different ways of classifying. But moderate to, what is the term they use? Severe, challenging, whatever.
Difficult.
Anyway, Pauline kept walking. You got a bad back. It's the thing to do. Standing is about one of the worst things.
Well, it's not only my back right now. It's
Right,
like
your
I have
toe.
the rib hurts. My knee is ridiculous.
So,
And that big toe that I stubbed.
so we went around Cottonwood Park. I was quite a bit behind Pauline. And there's a place. You get to know snakes. Place that down there, what they do is they relocate rattlers apparently that they find in Lethbridge down there. And So it's been this way for probably 20 years. They were telling me. I did put shale down in the pathways. They got limestone, I think, down there now, but it gets badly rutted. We saw this year we had a 1 day of rain, bad rain, and it rutted that thing badly, and they haven't re-shaled it or re-limestoned it. They're asking for a suit. Someone busting, blowing a ankle, or even worse, a knee.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Because, I mean, joggers go down there. We saw a couple young people jogging.
yeah,
Going, it's a good workout doing that.
it's a
loop.
very good workout coming back up. Anyway, there's this one area. You kind of go around. Most people seem to go down, take circle around the way people do in a rink. People
Yeah.
like going counterclockwise. I don't know why.
Well, it might be different in like Britain
It might be.
because they drive to,
Very good.
or in
Mhm.
Australia.
It might be. A place that used to be a British colony aside from Canada. India, I think, is the same way. Anyway, could be wrong. I don't know. New Zealand, South Africa would be interesting to check.
Yeah, the steamed ones are still okay. I gave you the ones that were on the top because they still held their shape better,
Well,
but the ones on the bottom were pretty flimsy looking. But
Anyway.
it still tastes good.
when you're closing the loop on the thing, north end of the loop, down
Yeah,
Cottonwood
down-
Park, there's grass there. I've always been scared of that, and rattlesnakes. And sure enough, behind pulling by myself, I was walking
So I
into
still
the wind.
haven't gotten them on camera for you, the rattlesnakes.
They're too smart, I think. I was walking in.
James is a snake magnet, so if I just stayed with you, I would have seen them.
You would have seen it, but I don't think you would have been able to get the camera on. It's not with this one. Anyways,
fast.
a smart snake. He was upwind of me, which means
But you said you could still see the little rattle above the grass.
it wasn't little. He's been around a while. No, and it was on the road. Okay, so he was half on the road.
On
I'd
the
say it's
ground.
about half
Yeah.
in my road.
In your road.
So he was, I'd say, 3 feet long, and I tried to underestimate. Do I not, Pauline? My impression was 4 feet long, but I think that would
You
be a
can
little
go
bit
find it for yourself.
possible. You know, that's like looking for trouble.
Yeah. If you go off the path in Cottonwood Park, you're a moron.
I wouldn't go running off. There are
No, well, this time of
places
year.
where
You could
people.
go off in the winter. They're not going to be doing anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be taking that hill in the wintertime. But there might be some people who like doing it.
I don't know.
You'd be tobogganing down on your gluteus maximi. Just going downhill. Anyway, the snake was where I expected. It was a smart snake. It was aware because it heard me even though I was downwind. And you're downwind. You
Well, I had just been on the path, too. You weren't that far behind me.
Anyway, you'd know from I went down to the river and stuff like that. Anyway, you
Oh,
know
true.
how far
Yeah.
down. Anyway,
Okay.
it was a smart snake. When you're downwind, it's not just smell that gets affected; it's hearing. And the wind was making whooshing sounds and stuff like that. I kind of shuffle along. After I got my 7.5 fractured vertebrae. I was on a walker for half a year, roughly. I don't think I'm overestimating terribly much.
I brought you soy sauce if you want it. Did I mention? And oysters if you want.
That's all it is. Anyway, I had to learn to walk, so I kind of shuffled. It's good there was a lot of limestone there, because that's what he heard. All of a sudden, I heard the
Rattle.
crunch of the limestone, and over it, I saw him before I hit the red. The rattling registered with me, even though I was downwind. Well, yeah, I'd say he was about half on the path. So when he had his tail elevated as he was going along, I was rattling. It was a pretty impressive show. It was a smart snake. It survived. Hopefully won't kill too many people. I don't know if rattlers really. They might kill a child.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean,
The ones around here, I guess, aren't that poisonous. Or maybe not big enough. They don't have them. I mean, I think there are three different considerations when it comes to snakes. 4. How big are they? How much poison are they?
well,
And then there is how virulent is that poison. Then there's how long are the fangs, how deep are they going to stab, and then
Yeah.
also how effective are the fangs.
but I mean, really, only absolute morons. No matter what the species, humans, other animals, whatever, only absolute idiots really want to pick a fight with somebody for nothing. I mean,
This applies to animals too.
it risks your own health, and if you're wildlife,
Mhm.
you don't have a publicly paid medical service to go to.
If you get injured too
That's
badly,
it, right?
you can't
So,
hunt.
yeah.
If you're a hunter, you can't escape if you're a prey. So you don't mess around with
No.
things. So one of the most enlightening things I ever saw was some bird of prey going after a mouse. The mouse had been going through little corridors under snow, and it just got exposed. And the bird of prey was way bigger than the mouse. And the mouse stood up, made its last stand, stood up on its hind legs and bared its fangs. The bird wasn't that hungry.
Not that hungry.
No,
Not worth
it was-
risking it. Yeah.
Good for that
Make
little
some meat
mouse.
for your prey.
It just,
Mhm.
that's why. If someone's going to
know.
kill you,
Yep.
you got to
Well,
stand
it's like
up
you
to
with the
pick her.
cougars. You grab the stick and you hit it, and you're like, "Get out of here!" And they went.
Oh yeah.
They didn't want to fight. They were just having fun playing with each other. They didn't even notice we were there until,
Until I said,
yeah,
I didn't say, I whispered. No, you whispered.
I
right?
whispered. They heard me.
What did?
They looked right
They
over.
were so far away.
It's amazing.
The hearing was.
All I just said is,
One
They
word.
were quite far off. They heard it.
Yeah,
they
it might have
looked-
been 2 football fields away. At least one.
Yeah, right in the path where we had to go back.
And the control of the situation is not the way I like to be with animals, but
No, with cougars. I'm scared of cougars.
they were heading down the path away from us. I'm going, no, this does us no good. And when I started yelling at them, top of my voice, and I can yell loudly, they started heading uphill. That didn't please me. It would have been better if they'd
If
gone
they
downhill.
went down, yes.
But they were smart. They know.
Because they would have been watching us the whole way along.
Well, I think they were scared of us. You see, if you're scared, if you're in a defensive position, you still want to be uphill. If you're attacking someone,
Yeah, you're right.
you like attacking downhill, right?
Yeah.
But if you're defending, you also want people that are attacking you coming uphill.